Hello all and welcome to Astro Wheel of Fortune. My name is Vlada and I read tarot, and today I am doing a reading on what is coming up for you in the near future. So we're going to be looking at what is coming up for you in the near future. The near future, I guess I am looking at maybe less than 6 months, but yeah, I'm defining it as the near future. So if the cards want to correct me in some sort of way, we're going to have to be corrected. So I got these fortune cookies that I wanted to use for this reading. The fortune cookies are just like generic fortune cookies, so we'll see what comes out. I'll read the fortune cookie that you got at the end of the I can't speak, at the end of the reading. So we've got group 1, we've got group 2, and we've got group 3. So there's going to be 3 groups. I'm going to try and go quite in depth, and I'll be using a variety of decks. I think I'll just be kind of using the decks intuitively. Whichever deck I'm being pulled to, that's the one that I will use. But yeah, so we've got 3 groups for what is coming up in the near future. Take your pick, take your time. If you want to pause the video and see which group is pulling your attention the most, you can do that. If you like this video and you enjoy it and you want to maybe check out more services by me, you can check out the Etsy readings, the private readings that I do in the Etsy link below in the description box. You can also sign up to my Patreon, where I do more readings over on that platform. You can sign up to my Patreon. There's a link in the description box below as well. And if you feel like tipping me, you can tip me as well. You can tip me with the thanks button at the bottom of the video. It's like a love heart button, or you can tip me on my PayPal as well. The link for that is in the description box below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, just make sure to like, subscribe, comment, engage with my stuff, engage with my content, engage with my other content outside of my pick a card readings. I am doing a series on the major arcana in tarot, where I do a reading on each of the major arcana cards, and like really interesting information has been coming out in those readings, and I would really like for people to engage with that content and give their own perspective and give their own opinion on those things as well. So if you feel like connecting with that content as well, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into it. So pause the video now if you want more time to pick the groups, but we're going to get started with group number 1. So group number 1, we're going to look at your fortune cookie at the end. I think I don't want to look at it at the start, but let's get into your reading and see what is coming up for you. What is coming up for you in the near future? Temperance card. Ooh. Wow, the High Priestess. And whoa, sorry, I'm just getting something with the High Priestess and the 7 of Swords in reverse. What is coming up for you? Well, first of all, I think you're going to be realizing, kind of like peeling back the layers of what you thought you wanted to reveal about yourself. Like, I feel like you're going to want to reveal more about yourself to the world, but it's going to be such a slow process, and not like in a bad way. This is going to be a slow process that is going to be very kind of like intentional. There's something very comfortable about this energy. It kind of feels like the energy that I'm getting is like of somebody metaphorically or spiritually slowly undressing themselves. There's something quite sensual about this energy, I have to say, because there's a feeling of, you know, like if you were to slowly undress yourself in front of someone for the first time, like that would be a very intimate moment, but this is more like spiritual and metaphorical. So you could be deciding to slowly undress yourself, unpeel certain layers of yourself in front of someone, maybe someone specific, but this could be overall, like you're revealing yourself. There's something quite magical about this energy. Group number 1. There's something quite magical that's going on with you in the near future. You're revealing something quite private, quite intimate about yourself, but you're doing it in quite a classy way is the way that I want to put it, like quite an elegant way. You're doing it kind of slowly and intuitively and intentionally. You're not, I suppose, like with the temperance card, where the temperance angel here is pouring water from one cup to another. When this angel is pouring water from one cup to another, the angel is taking their time. They're not like spilling it too quickly. They're not pouring it too quickly. So the energy is very slow and intentional and persistent. And it's like, I will pour the water, or I will reveal myself only in a way that feels comfortable to me, only in a way that feels like I'm definitely intending to reveal that much about myself, or I'm definitely intending to reveal that much energy about myself. But this kind of feels like revealing something to a person, like becoming more intimate with a person because you reveal something intimate about yourself and it bonds you closer together. And it also feels like maybe you've waited a very long time to express this to this person. It could be that you waited a very long time to reveal this energy to this person. Because there's a waiting energy here that I am picking up on as well. But the energy that I'm picking up the strongest is an energy of a slow reveal. Slow, intentional reveal that feels like, I'm almost hearing, what's the word? Tantalizing? That's the word that I'm getting. But it's so worth it in the end. And it doesn't have to be strictly like romantic or sexual. This could be you revealing something to like a dear friend, or and through revealing this to someone, you reveal a piece of yourself to yourself as well. That's a really big energy that is coming in with this as well. Through revealing something that is quite kind of feels like it usually would have been very hard for you to reveal this piece of information or this part of yourself to other people. But somehow revealing this piece of you or this piece of information to this person is going to feel quite easy because, again, it's not rushed. This person is not going to rush you into revealing this part of yourself. This person is not going to demand you to reveal. You're going to choose to reveal this part of yourself on your own. It's going to be your choice. It's going to be your decision. And that's what's going to make it so easy. And through that, you're going to learn some sort of like really important mystical lesson, almost, is what I want to say. Someone will gossip about all your secrets with Parrot. Again, the energy of secrets. But someone will gossip about all your secrets. I'm not necessarily getting that because it's like the opposite. It's the opposite. You know that this person will not gossip about this secret of yours. You know that this person will not reveal. There's a real strong security in knowing that this person is not going to gossip. This person is not going to go and, tell the whole world about what you've just told them. I think someone will gossip about all your secrets. Maybe that's a fear of yours. Maybe that's something that you struggle with. Maybe you struggle to open yourself up to people because you're used to people kind of like spreading the gossip or talking about you. Maybe you've opened up to people before and they went and they gossiped about very, very private and intimate things that you've revealed about yourself. Or maybe you showed something to someone and they went and told everyone. There's a lot of privacy, there's a very strong energy of privacy that is coming up with this first group, and it feels like a healing of privacy. Like your feelings of sharing something. This has a very strong 8th house energy to me. Very strong 8th house energy of like sharing secrets with somebody. Trusting somebody with a secret and knowing that they're actually going to honor that trust. And I don't know how you're going to know that, but you just will. Like in your absolute core, you just know that this feels like a really just the energy that I'm getting. It's the feeling of excitement and the feeling of intimacy and care that comes with sharing a secret with somebody and knowing that this secret is safe with them. That's what's coming up in your near future. It's like that sheer, there's something quite pure about that energy. You know, like when you were a kid and you shared a secret with your best friend or something like that, and maybe you were innocent, it was before, your secrets were ever told, or someone went and told somebody else about the secret that you told them or something that you showed them. It's like when secrets were sacred, and it's like there's something about secrets being sacred that's coming through here. We've got light-hearted, carefree time. It feels like there's something almost innocent or childlike about this event, about this, like, whatever this secret is. But again, it doesn't have to be like a secret that you tell. It can be a secret that you show. Like you show a part of yourself to someone, and you know that they're not going to go and tell everyone what they have seen. There's almost something mystical. Like I'm getting almost an idea of like a mermaid or a fairy showing itself to you as a secret, as in saying, I'm going to show myself to you, but I'm only showing myself to you because I trust you not to go and tell the village that you saw me. So there's something quite magical about this. Like I feel like, again, and I feel like you're the mermaid in this scenario, or you're that like fairy tale creature, that fairy in this scenario that is revealing themselves and showing themselves in their like weirdness and mysticism and in their magic and whimsy, and the other person on the other end is upholding the trust around you, showing this secret mystical energy to them. They're not going off and telling people. This also feels like I just keep getting the idea of like someone sharing like nude pictures of themselves with someone, and absolutely knowing that this person is not going to go and show them to other people, and like that kind of energy. There's something quite intimate about this. Like I'm really feeling that 8th house energy here. That intimacy of knowing, like, I could show you something of myself right now. I could expose myself in some sort of way to you, and you're not going to use that against me. You're not going to use that, what occurs between us, like what I'm about to show you and the layer that I'm about to show you. You're not going to go and retell the story of what you have seen here. And there's something quite, again, like there's something quite mystical and like almost a sense of folklore that is like folklore stories from different cultures where it's like legends, and like you may have this might be a sexual experience for some of you. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a sexual experience where you feel completely sure that the person that you're involved with, like in this sexual experience, they're not gonna go and run their mouth about it. And it's actually gonna stay this like sacred, private, intimate event between the two of you. That means a lot to the both of you. And again, you may not be in a relationship with this person. You may not be connected to this person in some sort of super way of longevity, or you're not going to be in a relationship with them long term. For some of you, maybe you will. But that privacy will be honored. And like with the high priestess, she has this curtain behind her, and you can't really see anything behind the curtain. And it's like the things that are behind the curtain will stay behind the curtain. Knowing that. Maybe you've had moments in the past or situations in the past where, again, it doesn't have to be strictly sexual, because I'm not getting strictly sexual energy here. It's just like for some of you, that could be what it is, because I'm getting those kind of feelings. But I feel for a lot of you, maybe it is just you being very, very vulnerable with someone for the very first time in a very long time. But it's because you just know with your whole being that it's safe to be that vulnerable, to show that, like, the strange creature within yourself to this person. That's the way that I almost want to put it. We've got beware of greed with pig. Honestly, I'm not getting beware of greed. I'm more so getting like someone was a bit of a pig to you in the past. Like the energy of this is kind of like you've showed your own like creature like mystical energy to someone before. And the thing about, coming through as a creature to a person and showing something very mystical and weird and unconventional about yourself to someone, you want that to be kept a secret. You want that to be private because that, like, there's a reason that it's so vulnerable. But it feels like I'm literally getting like, oh, this person was a pig about how, they handled that situation. For some of you, it could literally be like that you have a lot of trauma associated with people. And I'm sorry if this is like triggering. I didn't expect this kind of message at all, but like, maybe you have some sort of trauma associated with people like running their mouth about like your sexual experiences, or like making things up, even, making things up about your sexual experiences. Maybe you have some sort of trauma associated with you being really vulnerable with people or certain, I don't know who, but, and that vulnerability being shoved further and further down behind the curtain. And maybe you thought you were never going to be able to open up to another person again, but here you are. I think you're going to be like, you're actually going to feel quite light. The energy is very light. I almost feel like there's a floating energy around this, that the trust is going to be so overwhelming. And there might be thoughts of like backtracking or anxiety after the fact, but in the moment of you being vulnerable with this person, you're going to feel so sure in your vulnerability with this person that you can trust this person to protect that. Like, again, the metaphor that I'm being given is like if you were like a woodland nymph in a forest, right? Let's say that's your energy. You're like a nymph or an elf of some sort, or some sort of a fairy. And, there's a person from the village coming into this forest, and they are coming into the forest and they're stumbling upon you. And you're like hiding behind a tree or whatever. But you can sense that you can trust them, that this person, this human, is not going to go into their village and call all their buddies and go, oh, I saw a fairy, I saw a wooden nymph, let's go see them, let's go catch them, let's go look at them. You know that if you reveal yourself to this like human, that they will just go back to their village and they'll go about their day and they will just cherish the moment of privacy that you shared together, and that you're not going to have to fear. There's not going to be a level of fear. There's not going to be a level of that intense anxiety that this person is going to come with the men from the village or the people from the village and try and possess you, own you, laugh at you, ridicule you for your creatureness, So that's the feeling that I'm picking up. That's what's coming up in your near future. An experience with someone. Again, it doesn't have to be sexual, but I feel like for some of you it could be. Where you can be in that full like woodland nymph, fairy, mermaid, I don't know, Pegasus, unicorn, whatever energy you want to call it. You can be in that energy and just completely dissolve into it. I'm getting a little bit of a 12th house energy now as well, which is also about privacy in its own way. So there's just this feeling of, I'm really getting this reading is about privacy. You're about to have, in the near future, you're going to have a private experience. Drenched in privacy is what I heard. With a person who, in the moment of that privacy and that vulnerability, you're going to feel so light, like a feather almost, and so trusting. Like you've had this fear for maybe a while, and all of a sudden you're just going to feel so trusting in this energy that you're just going to be like, it's safe for me to be fully vulnerable and fully myself and fully become this like creature-like energy, whatever you want to call it. And I know that this person is not going to go and tell everyone what they saw when we had this experience, or what I told them, or what they experienced with me in that vulnerable moment. After the fact, you might have some anxiety Not for all of you, but for some of you, you may kind of go, what if I made the wrong choice or whatever? But I think this person's going to obviously prove it to you that you were right to trust them. Of course, use your own intuition. So don't just like have this moment with the first person that you like come across. You're going to know this is going to be a very strong, intuitive, it's going to feel very calm. I think the way that you're going to know is that you're going to feel so calm with this person. You're going to feel very light. Like there's a sense almost like you will feel like a feather, and you will feel like things are flowing very easily. I think that's the emotions or feelings that your guides are saying that's when you will know, but you will know. I feel like intuitively you will just have such a good understanding of this moment. So I want to see if there's anything else that your guides want to tell us about this moment. You know what's so funny? Fourth house. I associate the 3 water houses, 4th house, 8th house, 12th house, with privacy. And so far, all 3 of them came up. I was thinking of the 8th house, then I was thinking of the 12th house, and that now we've got the 4th house. 4th house is privacy of like whatever goes on in here is private. Whatever goes on in this home, in this room, in this space is private. It's the, you know, like when we say the privacy of my own home, you know, the way we crave that privacy of our own home. We don't want random people to have access to our own home. I feel like that's what this person's energy is going to make you feel like. Like I am safe here. I am secure here. You might even be in this person's home when it happens. There's that kind of energy coming out here. So you might actually be in this person's home, and their home is going to feel maybe like your home for some of you. But for some of you, it's maybe not necessarily that it'll feel like your home, but being in the privacy of their home will feel like it's very safe. And like whatever, you know, it's like whatever goes on here, whatever kind of vulnerability happens here in the privacy of this home, of this house, of my space. I'm kind of getting like, when you're in my space, you can be assured that whatever happens, I will be very careful and caring and loving and nurturing around what you choose to reveal and be vulnerable about within this space. So that's a very, like, this is something very gentle. I feel if it isn't romantic, this is definitely like something intimate in terms of friendship. You know, like this could be a friend that you feel this deep intimacy with. Specifically emotional. There's a lot of emotional energy that I'm picking up on here. Even with the jug, I'm thinking jug of water, like just so much emotion is coming through. I think you might even be kind of very touched by this moment. You could feel very touched by whatever this is. And we've got the 5th house, passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. You know, the self-expression part of the 5th house is really coming through. I think you're really going to express yourself to this person, whether it be verbally, whether it be in some sort of way you're going to express yourself with your body, or whether you're going to express yourself with your emotion. Whatever way you choose to express yourself here, this moment is really going to heal a lot of this like fear that people will gossip about you, but also it will solidify in you how you need to feel in order to safely and sacredly share your secrets and share very vulnerable secret parts of yourself. You're gonna solidify, this is how I'm supposed to feel when I'm meant to share myself, when it's safe to share myself with someone. In the past, I went against my intuition. I would share myself even though my intuition was sounding off alarm bells to people who were pigs about it, you know? So I feel like your trust, like this kind of vulnerable trust has been betrayed a lot. Like people, maybe you would have confided in people or told people very vulnerable things, and then you would hear that they told like some random person that you don't even know, or like, you know, there's just like certain things that you told people and they didn't respect that like bond and that barrier of like, this doesn't leave this room. Like when people say, can I tell you a secret, but this secret doesn't leave this room? That's the energy that I'm picking up on this specific reading. And it's something to do, I feel like it's more to do with a self-expression rather than like, oh, it's a secret that I'm telling you. For some of you, it could be, but I feel like you're going to show this person something about yourself that is very like, again, I keep wanting to say creature-like. And I don't know how that, how that feeds in, but that's what I'm seeing. So let's open up your fortune cookie. This was an interesting reading. I really didn't expect this kind of reading. Okay. Let's see what your fortune cookie says. I'm excited. Oh my God. I'm excited to see what it says. Okay. I'm going to put these here. Get ready, next week will be just great. So for some of you, this could happen next week. Get ready, next week will be just great. So that's your fortune cookie on top of what we got as a message. For some of you, this could, because we said near future, for some of you, this could happen next week. I think this is actually, there is an element of like fun with this as well. It's not going to be super heavy. I think that's the important thing. You're going to show yourself. You might show your very like creative and expressive side, and it may almost be childlike. But it's like a playful, and it's almost like, again, I keep getting like an energy of a woodland nymph just playing in the woods, or a mermaid just playing in the sea, and someone who's not used to that creature-like energy watching it and being mesmerized by it. But instead of then going and telling like their fellow humans about this mermaid or about this creature, they just keep that as a secret, and they keep that as like a private energy between the two of you. I love this. Get ready, next week will be just great. So I love that. That is your reading, group number 1. This was such a cool reading. I really enjoyed doing this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment, especially with your feedback. Definitely would love to hear your feedback on this one, but yeah, I had a great time doing this one. So okay, I'm gonna move forward. Let's get into our group number 2 with the second fortune cookie. So group 1 was very interesting. So we'll see what group 2 has in store. So group 2, let's get into your reading. What can you expect in the near future? Group 2, what can you expect in the near future? What can group 2 expect in the near future? You know what? So funny. I was visualizing the 9 of Pentacles in my head right as I was shuffling this. And it came out, and I was picturing it in the upright position. So I'm going to take it in the upright position. And it was like so loud in my head. I am kind of shook right now that came out, because it was literally so vivid in my head. So I even felt like, I was like, should I say it? For a second, I was kind of like, should I say the 9 of Pentacles is in my mind's eye? It's like I could visualize the 9 of Pentacles. Wow. Oh my God. This is very exciting. I feel like this is a really exciting reading. I don't know why. Okay. King of Wands in reverse. King of Swords. Okay, let's see. What can group 2 expect in the near future? I think like a switch in energy is coming up, where you are moving. I will say straight away, if you're not used to being super like by the book, or super logical, or super organized, you are about to surprise yourself in the near future about how, like, how well you're about to organize yourself. That's a really big energy that I'm picking up on. You're kind of making a switch. I feel like a lot of you that pick this group, you might be someone who tends to be like more creative, or maybe a little bit more, led by inspiration rather than by like logic or method. But I'm getting a very strong sense that you're about to really surprise yourself in the switch of energy. It may feel a little bit unexpected. Kind of like all of a sudden, it kind of feels like you wake up one day and you just decide to organize your whole life. You just decide to put everything on its shelf. You decide to like organize. You know that meme of like, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, where's my birth certificate? Like, that's the energy, but you're actually doing something about it. You're literally just going at it. And I feel like you're going to feel really secure in your like grounding on material reality to support you in your organization of your life. So where you would have relied on inspiration before, you are able to take things in like matters into your own hands and very logically and methodically gather things together and organize things together. And I think it might even result in some sort of like financial opportunity for you, or it might result in so like maybe better finances because you are gonna, or like maybe you're just gonna wake up one day and start budgeting. But it feels like it's happening very soon. It's happening like maybe even you're already in this energy. The switch is kind of, I feel like the switch is about to happen. You're switching from the energy of like kind of like an energy of like, I need to be inspired and excited in order to do something, to I'm going to do it because it needs to be done. And you are going to do it because it needs to be done, but you're also just like, it's not as painful as it usually might be or would have been. Like, it's not a painful kind of undertaking to go and organize things. But I'm really getting a strong energy of just like waking up one day or, realizing one day you're just like, you know what, I am ready to just organize this, and I'm going to organize this, and I'm going to like pack this up, and I'm going to declutter here. It's just this very determined, organized energy. Like, I'm getting someone just stepping into their 6th house energy all of a sudden. Of, establishing a stronger routine, incorporating healthier way of living. I'm really picking up on like a healthier way of living, but again, it's not like, oh, I'm going to eat healthier or I'm going to exercise. It's like, I'm going to create more health in my routine. So it's not like you're just picking things out of thin air and you're just like, oh, I want to be healthy, so I'm going to eat healthier now. And you're kind of like doing it because you're like, oh, like I'm gonna read books on it, or I'm gonna like read a blog on how to eat healthier. If you are gonna eat healthier, there's going to be a sense of, I'm gonna eat healthier because there's something that I've noticed, like when I eat this specific type of food, it doesn't make me feel good, so I'm gonna eliminate it. It's like a process of elimination that could be happening with you as well in the coming weeks, is what I'm picking up for a lot of you. But it's a very interesting energy. It's kind of like, maybe it feels like something you might be kind of surprised by. You might kind of go, I didn't know I could be this kind of person. I didn't know I could do stuff like this. We've also got a meeting with a stranger could be important. I mean, this could be informed by... One thing that I'm picking up for some of you, it might feel like you're a stranger to yourself. Like, you're almost like, who is this girl? Or who is this guy? Or who is this person? I don't know them. You might be kind of looking at yourself and feeling yourself in your own energy and being like, it might be a little bit dissociating, but I don't want to scare you. It's not like a scary kind of energy. It might just feel a little bit disorienting. Like, I'm not used to myself being like this. Like, who, I keep hearing, get a load of this guy. Who is this guy? And it's almost like this energy is just I don't know, this new energy is almost like it possesses you. But for some of you, maybe you are going to meet like a stranger, or you're going to meet a new person who's going to inspire that energy in you, or like set off that energy in you. That could be it as well. But wow. And what an energy that is. We've got happiness. Yeah, this is going to make you feel really, really happy. I'm going to take this one. Time to go out and have fun. It's funny because it's like being more organized is going to help you have more fun. You know what? It's like you're going to have fun with being organized. And I think something that you're going to notice about yourself is like, I used to think the only way for me to have fun is to not be, not to be organized, to be spontaneous, to do things in a very spontaneous manner, to do things on a whim, to do things out of inspiration or instinct. And all of a sudden, I keep hearing it's like, am I becoming boring, or is it really fun to be organized? Like, I'm kind of getting that energy. What is that scene in Friends where Monica is like, it's like the rules help you have fun or something like that, where they're like playing a game and she keeps like pointing out the rules. And she's like, well, the rules is what helps us have fun. Like, that's the energy that I'm picking up with you. Like, you're actually going to have fun being organized. If you're foreign to that idea or that feeling, well, get ready. It's going to feel pretty good. It's going to feel very fulfilling. It's going to feel very interesting. Like, I just keep being drawn to your energy, just kind of you all of a sudden realizing, maybe you're getting things organized, maybe you're getting your affairs in order, and sitting back after you've done it and being like, who am I? Sorry, who is this? Who is this person? And it's funny because, like, when people are like, oh, I did something that's very out of character, or I did something that I would have never done before, we usually think of something like crazy or spontaneous or something like insane. But for you, it's the opposite. It's not to say that you were always like massively spontaneous or super insane, but you were kind of led by inspiration. Whereas you're going to find yourself in the coming weeks just kind of organizing things and being like, this is so not like me. The fact that I organized this, and the fact that I like tidied this up, and the fact that I've decluttered this, and the fact that I set a routine for myself and I followed that routine for a straight week or 2 weeks, this is not like me. I don't know this person, but I am so excited that I'm meeting them. But with the handshake, I'm really getting like two versions of you meeting. And it's not that this energy that is a little bit more spontaneous, or the energy that is inspired, it's not leaving you. It's not going anywhere. It's just kind of fading away into the background for a little while to let your organized self come out and to show you as like a being that being organized really can be fun, kids. That's what I'm picking up on. It's like being organized really can be fun. It can really be exciting and happy and enjoyable. Like, how you're having fun with being organized. You're having fun with being predictable, even in a way. It's like you're having fun with your own routine. I'm also getting, for some of you, the month of September is going to be important. So I am hearing like the next few weeks. So when I'm recording this at the start of August. It will be a few weeks, when September comes around. So maybe you're going to see some really great results from this organized energy in the next few weeks. And that's going to make you feel really, really abundant with the 9 of Pentacles here. And the grapes. Grapes always make me think of abundance. And it's like this abundance through organization, this abundance through routine. I heard abundance through getting my shit together. There's something very prosperous about this energy, and it's fun. It's genuinely fun. I'm almost seeing you like plan out your week and you know, having like, you're having fun with planning out your week. You're like, this is what I'm gonna do on Monday, and this is what I'm gonna do at this time, and then, you know, at like 4 o'clock I want to sit down and do this. Like, there's that kind of energy, and you're actually having fun with it. You're excited to follow your own schedule. You're excited to follow your own routine, your own set of rules that you are establishing for yourself. It's like this Saturnian energy that is actually having fun. And it's quite... Black Moon Lilith. What is that? Black Moon Lilith. This could be you. You're gonna find some hidden aspects of yourself through this routine, I think. And I'm kind of getting like, finally you found this version. So it's not just like an organized version of you is emerging, but you're also going to be discovering other versions of yourself through this more organized energy. Kind of like versions of you that you have maybe rejected, again, like shadow energy. You could have rejected those versions of you. And somehow through this routine, these versions of you are going to come out to play. And we've got Uranus, which is all about rebellion. Rebellion, but also like doing things radically differently to how things have been done before. And again, it's like you're doing things radically different, but because what I'm thinking is Uranus rules Aquarius. The original ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And so I'm being brought back to Saturn. But I guess Uranus is kind of like Saturn's more fun nephew or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it's because Uranus took on a lot of the attributes that Saturn would have had. But Saturn energy is really about reconstructing, changing, things around, breaking down foundations in order to restructure them. Some of you could be going through your Saturn return. Maybe that's what this is, but it doesn't have to be. But it's like, let's deconstruct things and construct them back together. But let's do it in a fun way. We don't need to be like, oh, I need to reconstruct this and put it back together and it's going to be depressing and sad. Like, you can deconstruct something and have fun deconstructing it. Like, that's the feeling that I'm picking up with you, group number 2. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be annoying. It doesn't have to be like, oh, there's a word in Russian that keeps popping up. It's like nudny. And it kind of means something that is just like really like a drag. Because you could say someone is a zanuda, and when someone is a zanuda, it's like someone is a real drag of a person. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be, organization doesn't have to be a drag. Organization doesn't have to be boring and tiresome. Organization can be fun and enjoyable and exciting. I'm yet to experience it, but maybe this is my group, because I did feel pulled to group number 2, so a little bit. I usually don't pick my own readings. Like, I usually don't pick a group in my own readings when I'm doing a reading, but I did feel pulled to this specific fortune cookie, so it's just funny. I was like, I've never experienced this, but hell, maybe I will. Bring it on, you know? But I am really picking up on this energy of just... Maybe you've seen organization, routine, and like habit as something that is kind of like you'd rather avoid or put to the side, or, you know, it's like, oh, it's boring, it's a drag. And I feel like you're reintroducing or becoming reacquainted with this organized side of you, because we all have an organized side to us, right? Like, even if we don't exercise it, we all have a certain level of desire to be organized and have a level of routine. We all have a sixth house in our chart, you know? So to me, there's like a consistency that you are creating for yourself, but you're creating it through play almost. Like you might even be playful in how you organize your life and how you get all of this together. Like you might genuinely incorporate a form of play to routine. Like I wouldn't put that past this group because I feel like you're like genuine. There's time to go out and have fun, and there's happiness. There's something very playful, and Uranus energy, it is very kind of like, it's a little bit of a mad scientist energy. It's like I'm a scientist, but I'm also like I'm just gonna do things like, well, the thing about experiments, right? If we're talking about mad scientist, the thing about experiments need to be done consistently. Like if you want to experiment around a certain, you want to get a certain outcome, you would need to change certain variables. So you might experiment with your routine. It might not be that you're setting a routine and you're saying to yourself, oh, this is my routine from now on. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm going to try and do things routinely in this kind of way for 1 week. And then the next week after that, I'm going to change a couple of variables and I'm going to see if that fits me better. If it doesn't fit me better, I'm going to go and change a couple of variables again and try again. And I'm going to like maybe use the next 5 weeks to see which routine feels right to me, which routine feels more correct to me. So there's almost a sense of experimentation with your routine that is happening. And that's where you're finding this like fun. You're enjoying it. You're feeling into your routine from a place of experimentation rather than a place of, I need to have a routine and I need to be, set in stone. You're like, I'm only going to have it set in stone if I've experimented enough with it and I feel like it would benefit me genuinely. But this inspired part of you that does things out of inspiration or spontaneity or instinct, it's not going away by any means. It's just giving space for this more playful routine type of energy to come in. Because again, it's like, I feel like the universe and maybe your higher self really want to show you that routine does not have to be a drag. Routine does not have to be boring. So that's kind of what I'm picking up on here. So let's have a look at your cookie. I'm gonna get your cookie message now to add on to that. So that's happening for you in the near future. So I need to open it over this so the crummies don't go everywhere. Okay. You solve even the most difficult problems without hesitation. Oh my God. You solve even the most difficult problems without hesitation. You know what? I feel like it is going to be a few weeks of problem solving. A few weeks of problem solving without hesitation is really standing out to me. You solve even the most difficult problems without hesitation. I think that's the next few weeks for you. Just solving problems without hesitation, saying to yourself, okay, what do I need? What kind of routine do I need in order to accommodate my problem solving? What do I need to, what kind of structure do I need in order to support my problem solving skills? There's like an experimenter energy to you. And the thing is, experiments are fun. Experiments should be fun. When you experiment with something, that is an idea of fun. But in order to experiment with something, you need to have, the constants and the variables. And the constant is your routine, and the variables is like maybe your spontaneity. So you're learning how to merge routine and spontaneity together for the next few weeks, in order to solve even the most difficult problems without hesitation. Wow, this really resonates with this reading for me. This specific, little message. you're really going to surprise yourself in how maybe you've been craving routine, and you're going to start craving this routine more and more until you're just like, you know what, I have more fun when I am establishing a routine for myself rather than when I'm not. That's the true fun that I'm having. That's the true enjoyment that I'm deriving from this. So, wow, really cool, group number 2. You solve even the most difficult problems without hesitation. I also feel like if you have certain problems or issues that need to be resolved, you're going to really, really ace that. You're really going to ace those challenges. You're going to push through them. You're going to work through them. You're going to find innovative ways to... I think there's going to be a lot of innovative problem solving, like thinking outside of the box and being able to solve a problem that might feel kind of tedious and, again, like a bit of a drag. Solving it much quicker and much easier than you anticipated, because you're allowing yourself to think outside of the box. You're allowing yourself to do something that is a little bit outside of your norm, while at the same time establishing routine. So I love that. Really, really cool. So that's all I have for you, group number 2. That was a really cool reading. Again, very interesting, just like group number 1, but we're going to move forward. So we're moving on. We're going to move on to group number 3. So group number 3 with a third fortune cookie. I'm going to open this fortune cookie at the end of your reading, but we're going to get started with your reading first. And the question we're asking is, what can you expect in the near future? The last 2 groups were both very interesting, both very different. So I'm excited to see what comes up for you. Strength card. Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What's coming up in the near future for you, group number 3? I think you're just going to have a lot of stamina in some sort of way. It's like a lot of stamina to invest into something, like really invest into something. And a lot of like faith and trust that it'll work out. A lot of stamina. Like, I'm picking up some of you might even invest into like a workout program, or some sort of invest into some sort of like maybe you'll say like 30 days of this kind of workout, and you're really going to commit to it, and you are really going to, like, I'm just getting committing to something full force and investing in a lot of energy or time or effort or all of those things into something here. And doing it in such a graceful, and like doing it in a way that doesn't overwork you, doing it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you, or doing it in a way, I keep getting like graceful or elegant, like you're able to do it in a way that you are not becoming obsessed with it, or you're becoming obsessed with the result. You're just saying to yourself, I'm going to commit myself full force. I'm not going to have any expectations on what the result needs to be, and I'm just going to allow it to take me wherever it takes me. And you're going to give yourself, like, some of you could be giving it 8 weeks, because we've got 2 8s here. For some reason, I'm getting, maybe you're giving yourself 8 weeks to see progress. So you're saying, if I don't see progress in 8 weeks, then I know it's not for me. If I see progress in 8 weeks, then I know that the investment was worthy, like, or worthwhile is what I'm trying to say. For some of you, maybe it's a relationship. I'm not saying that it has to be like something. I do feel like for most of you, it's like you're maybe committing to a skill for 8 weeks, or you're committing to committing to a program for 8 weeks. You're committing to something a little bit more like less emotional and more tangible, like physical results. Maybe you're committing to a course for 8 weeks. Again, it doesn't have to be 8 weeks, but it just 8 weeks is coming out quite strongly, so I'm going with it. But we're in Leo season when I'm recording this, so maybe you're deciding like Leo season, I'm committing to this specific thing. And I'm gonna, I'm not gonna have expectations. I'm not gonna say, oh, I need to have these kind of results at the end. I'll just see what the results are. And if I'm satisfied with the results at the end of the journey, then I will continue doing this. If I'm not satisfied with the results at the end of the journey, I will have other knowledge or other wisdom or other understanding. It kind of feels like you are recognizing that whatever this is, it won't be a waste. It won't be a waste of time. It won't be a waste of your resources. Either way, it's going to bring you closer to what you're trying to achieve. For a lot of you, though, I do feel like it's more connected to like something physical. So like for a lot of you, it could be like a workout program. Like maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm going to commit to this workout, or, like I'm going to commit to this kind of like dance class or something, or this exercise class for 8 weeks. And if I see results after these 8 weeks, I will know that this is something that's for me. But again, it could be so many things. It could be like, it doesn't have to be something to do with your body as well. Like it could be something to do with a skill. You might dedicate yourself to a new skill, to learn how to do something. Like I'm almost picking up on somebody just saying, you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to do this, so I'm going to go and do it. And if after a certain period of time I'm not good at it, and it's like it's very difficult and I'm not enjoying picking up the skill, well then, at least I picked up some of the skill, and at least I know, okay, I'm not that great at it, or I don't enjoy it that much, but at least I tried it. So yeah, I think you're gonna be really, it feels either a skill or you're just looking for some sort of a tangible result. Slowly but surely getting ahead. Yeah, you're wanting to take something on over a period of time, invest into something. And if you've been thinking, like this might be a confirmation for some of you. So if you've been thinking on picking up a class, or maybe it feels like it might be something that almost feels irrelevant. Like you cannot tell why, but you feel pulled to, like, maybe it's like, I don't know why, but I feel a pull to learn how to tap dance. It's like, it won't help my career logically. When I look at it logically, it won't do anything for me in terms of my career. It won't do anything for me outside of just learning how to tap dance. But I feel a very magnetic and strong pull to learning how to tap dance. And your guides are like, well, this is a confirmation, because this skill or like picking this thing up is actually meant to give you some sort of like an interesting result, but it's like not the result that you would expect is what I'm picking up on. It's not the result that you would expect, but it is going to be a result, and you need to just commit to it without any expectation. And allow yourself to slowly progress within this. Great. It could turn into a passion. This could turn into something that you're like, why didn't I pick this up sooner? I think whoever picked this group, you have something in mind. Like I really feel the bottom of this one. Climbing towards success. The way that I'm picking this up, it's like whoever picked this group, you have something in mind that you want to learn, something that you want to pursue, or again, it could be maybe you want to go for a specific class or learn a specific skill, take up a certain skill and develop it, but you're reluctant because it doesn't quite feel like it may not feel logically like it fits into your life. And I think you're going to be picking up this skill regardless in the coming weeks. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen even next week, but it is happening. And the sooner you allow yourself to just take it up just because you feel like it, just because you can feel that pull to go for it, And I feel like this is more of a confirmation than anything for you, group 3. So whoever's watching this, I feel like your guides are coming through and being like, take up that skill, take that up, give yourself that moment and just start consistently chipping away at it, working away at it, and see where it takes you, because the likelihood is it's going to take you to some form of success. And it could become a massive passion for you. And you don't even know the potential that this has for you, but there's a reason that you're being pulled in that direction. And if you don't like it after a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, if you don't like it after that, you can give it up. You can always give it up, but you will have that, like a shred of that skill. You will have a little portion of that skill in you. And what a great experience to have a skill that you're maybe not like amazing at. And this is something that I've been thinking about myself. You know, the way, you know, when we look at skills, we always look at, I look at them like, I need to be perfect in this skill at some point. You know, if I'm not perfect in this skill at some point, so what's the point of me picking it up? But the thing is, it's kind of fun. Like when you meet a person and they're like, oh, I can kind of do this. Like, I'm not great at it, but I kind of have this skill. And they show you a skill that they have. And yeah, they're not great at it. They're not like a professional at it. They're not like a genius at it, but they have this skill, and there's something very endearing about it. There's something very endearing about when a person has a fraction of a skill. It's like when they have a skill in something, but they're not that great at it. They're just kind of average at it. But the fact that they just have that skill, it might be so random. There's something very intriguing and endearing about it. And I feel like your guides are kind of saying like, either this is going to be like a really cool part of you, of like something you're average at, but yet you have it. Or you could go and climb the ladder of success and become super passionate in it and achieve it in some sort of big way. I keep hearing, what are you waiting for? For some of you, I just feel like there is a very strong pull towards something, like a skill, a class that you want to take, something you want to acquire. And it's like it's random. It's not something that is going to be relevant to your career. Or could it be? What if logically it seems like it wouldn't be logically connected to your career, but it is? Capricorn, for a lot of you, I think whatever you're being pulled to here, you actually will achieve as a goal. But again, it's a bit of a slow-paced energy. And you're gonna have to enjoy that slow-paced energy. You're gonna be building this skill or whatever this is. For some of you, maybe it is about like going to I'm even getting, for some of you, you might want to increase your flexibility. Like, I don't know why that came through, but that's something that I just picked up on. So for someone here, it might be that you're like interested in getting more flexible. And so you want to go to like a yoga class, or maybe you want to go to a gymnastics class or something like that. But again, it's like, oh, but that's not going to be useful. But it is going to be useful. It's just going to be useful in a very specific and unique way. I mean, like, being flexible is useful in a way, you know, being flexible and connecting to your own flexibility into your old age. I'm not saying your old age, but like, you know, if you work on your flexibility, not that I'm super flexible, I'm not, but it's like, if we work on our flexibility, that is contributing to our overall health. It's kind of like you keep looking at whatever this skill is, or whatever this class is, whatever this is, you keep looking at it as like, oh, but it won't contribute to my overall like improvement in life or overall existence. Maybe you're not saying it exactly like that, but maybe there's a little kind of voice in your head that it's kind of like, oh, but what's the point of doing this? Like, it'll be a waste of money. Like, why would we go and do it? Like, it's not going to be a waste of money. It's not going to be a waste of time. You're actually going to be really, really glad that you did it. Like, really, really glad that you invested your time and effort and money or whatever into whatever this is. I think a lot of you are going to pick this up, whatever this is, and you're going to commit to it and just say, you know, I'm giving myself like 4 to 8 weeks to see if I like this. but I will not back out before the 4 weeks, let's say, or before the 8 weeks. I'm going to consistently work at this for, a period of time, and I will not give up on it until that point. And then once I get to that point, if I am not enjoying it at that point, then I will give it up. Or maybe I will love it. So I think what's coming up in the near future is you're going to be picking up a skill. For some of you, it's going to be a very random skill. And it feels like something you felt pulled to for a very long time. But again, it's just like it felt too random, or it felt kind of like, again, it's like, oh, is this a waste? We've got 7th house, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. Not just romantic partnerships. This is about partnerships in general. 7th house is about... Because the way that I see it, if the first and 7th house are on the same axis, if the first house is your identity, the 7th house is things outside of you and people outside of you that you like to identify with. So I think you might actually end up really identifying with this skill. Like something about this skill is actually going to be like something you really identify with, something that feels... like if you met another person and you looked at that person and you'd be like, oh my God, that person, I can really relate to that person. That would be the 7th house energy. I can really relate to them. But it's almost that, but with this skill. It's almost that. It's like this skill will help you relate to yourself better. The skill will help you feel more... more connected to yourself. You're not just developing the skill, you're also going to be developing a relationship with yourself that is going to be very fascinating and very interesting here. So it's not just about the skill, it's not just about accumulating or cultivating a skill. It's also about cultivating yourself. And I think the skill is the perfect way for you to bond with yourself. I think that's what's coming through. I think the reason that you're going to become quite passionate about whatever this is. The reason that you're going to be so passionate about it is because you will feel like there's something you relate to within this skill. It's kind of like, let's say you go and do this tap dancing class, but maybe then you want to look into like the history of tap dancing, and you want to look up like famous tap dancing performers, or who's like the most successful tap dancer in the world, and you become kind of like entrenched in the culture of this skill, because like every skill also has a culture. So this is not just about the skill as in like something that I have at my fingertips, something that I'm developing that I can then share as like a party trick or show off with, or for this to be useful in my day-to-day life. It's also something that I am delving into culturally. And I am also kind of like being inspired by other people who participated in that skill, other people who are in my class. All of a sudden realizing that maybe the people that go to this class, let's say, specific type of person that goes to a tap dancing class. Oh, I actually noticed that I really relate to people in these tap dancing classes. We all have something in common, and there's some like a very interesting thread that connects us all. You could actually make some meaningful relationships through this skill somehow. And that's the beautiful thing about picking this up and really sticking to it and staying dedicated to it. So yeah, what is the skill? I don't know, but let me know in the comments if you have whatever, whatever this is. And I feel like for most of you who picked this group, you know what this is. You know what this specific skill, I feel for a lot of you it is a skill, but like it could be, maybe there's a class that you really want to take, but at the same time you're like, oh, will it be a waste of money, time? Yeah, interesting. So let's look at your fortune cookie. We've got be patient and optimistic. So be patient and optimistic about this skill or whatever this is that you want to pursue. Because I do feel like you're questioning it. Like you're kind of saying, oh, will I even be good at it? Your guides are kind of just saying, well, you're going to have to find out if you're going to be good at it. But you need to be patient and optimistic about this. Slowly but surely getting ahead. There's a lot of energy of patience, especially with the strength card. Strength card is all about having enough willpower and enough gentleness in order to proceed with patience. It's like when where she's taming this lion, she's not taming this lion with force. Force is used when something doesn't have patience. When a person or an entity doesn't have patience, it uses force in order to execute something. When a force, or sorry, when an energy has patience, it executes willpower and strength that is more spiritual and more gentle, rather than sheer force that is brutal force. So I also feel like your guides are saying don't force yourself into like being good at this skill. Don't force yourself into just enjoy the skill as it comes to you, is what I'm picking up on. If it's coming to you slowly, maybe some of you are already pursuing this skill and your guides are saying, well, enjoy it as it comes to you. You don't have to force yourself into being brilliant at this. You don't have to force yourself to be, a genius or whatever this is. If it's coming to you slowly, there's a reason. And you never know. There's another thing with like skills and abilities that we have. Sometimes something might take such a long time to truly come to us, but once it does, we can take it into such like stratospheric places. So I think that's another message with this skill. It's kind of like, it's okay if it takes you a year to get really good at this. But after a year, what if you can take it into something incredible? Something where, and maybe the reason that it took you so long to navigate it is the reason that you take it so far. Because maybe the people that are more natural at this skill don't pay as much attention to it and don't notice the things that you're going to notice about this skill. So again, I keep saying skill, but it could be something else. It's just something your guides want you to it's like you're going to take this on and you're just going to have to go at it day by day using gentle strength and not force, and slowly noticing your own passion developing towards it. But you're going to be successful in whatever this is. I feel like whatever intuitively you picked up on with this, whatever, like when I was speaking about this, whatever you intuitively were feeling, really take that. But yeah, be patient and optimistic with this. So that's what I have for you, group number 3. So that is your reading. If you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment, especially with your feedback. I'd love to hear how that resonated with you. But I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.